I'm about to attempt an installation of curtains. We will see how good or bad this turns out. I think I set my phone up. My phone's kind of wonky. Motorbikes. This is like one of the few things that isn't hard to do. But, you know, you never know. These are like $1 each at Walmart. And they can look bad if you do it wrong. And I spent like $5 on one and $5 on another. These are 2 sets. They come with valances, which is like one of my favorite things. So when you do valances, you have to have 2 rods. One for the valance and one for the curtains. Most people don't know that. That's why I say that. Break out my mini scissors. The hardware is just kind of floating, free floating inside, so the first thing you do is, you know, dump everything out in a safe location. That way, you know, you don't lose the hardware. The person who lived here before us left up their curtain rod pieces, so I might be lucky and it might work for me, and might just be able to, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay. Well, that was like way easier than it actually is, because usually you have to like undo this, screw these in the wall, and deal with these little pieces here, which I'm going to have to do for the second one. Also, there's a little piece inside, which it doesn't really tell you on the packaging. I've just happened to have done this before. Oh, yeah, it does tell you on the packaging that when you pull it apart, this little piece on the inside, this little plastic piece right here, you actually are supposed to pull your rod apart, stick it on the inside. It is to help with stability. And it makes it look nicer, I guess. I don't know. I guess there's a reason for it. I've just always put it in there. It helps when you put it in there right, too. I totally put it in there the wrong direction. There we go. There we go. It's so that the material doesn't catch on this metal piece here when you're sliding material onto the rod. Then it just goes right onto this little piece, this plastic piece. This plastic piece looks really stupid, but you're not gonna see this. So you're just gonna actually see it go onto, yeah, my 2 pieces that fell off so far. You're gonna see the material slide on, and it's gonna slide right over this and right over the metal. So that's the only reason that they have this on here. So before you actually put the rod up, you choose which set. Which, my kitchen, ironically, my theme is either red or blue. So I bought 2 curtain sets, one that's red and one that's blue. So we'll go with the red one right now. Because it's Christmassy time of the year, it's coming up anyways. Then when spring comes back around, I'll switch over to the blue and wash the red. But, you know, it's that time of year. I really like it. I think it's pretty. It's probably all going to fall apart as I'm doing this. Where is the valance? There's my 2 little pieces that go off to the side. Ah! It all fell apart. Oh, seriously? Okay, well, cool. This did not tell me on the outside, but apparently the valance is attached. I think that's kind of stupid, but hey. Usually when you make curtains, you don't attach the valance. It's attached. So, hey. It makes it easier for people who don't know how to use curtains. So they come with two holes. They'll have a hole at the top and a hole in like right below it. Usually the top hole is, you can use it or you can not use it. It just depends on the person. There's usually only a slight size difference. But the second hole is what you're supposed to put it through so that the top stands up straight. It's for looks. That's the whole reason they do it. And you're going to have to be careful because this little end here is always like metal and harsh on your curtains. It'll rip holes in it when you try to slide the curtains on. And a lot of times you just want to kind of hold it with your arm or a table or whatever you want to use. But you want to like kind of scrunch it on as you're doing it. And then you're doing it towards this little metal-y piece, the plastic piece that we put on there. And you're just going to kind of slide it on slowly with it kind of doing it like this, with one hand holding the weight of the curtain and the other hand slowly sliding it on. But you want your arm to actually hold the curtain rod so you don't bend the rod. The rod is very fragile because I bought a cheap rod for $1. I bought 2 rods thinking this was an actual set because it called it a set. It called it a 5-piece set. And usually if it's a 5-piece set, it's not attached. Which, this is kind of stupid that it's attached. I guess people got tired of buying 2 rods. Me being in Walmart, I went over to the curtain section and I looked for the set of rods that come in a 2-pack of these, and we didn't sell them, and I didn't know why. Well, I figured out why, which bugged me, and now I figured out. So, now that I've got my curtain on my rod, I'm going to go ahead and lift it up and put it on there. Well, I may end up having to move the hardware in the first place, so because my curtain is touching the floor. But it goes around, it goes all the way around the valance always goes around this corner. so that it hides the curtain rod. Actually, no, that's perfect. It touches the floor, yes, but it's absolutely perfect. And I will back it up and show you. Okay, so that's actually what it should look like. If you actually get a regular valance, it should cover the entire top, and it should go around the corner here. So you can buy the cheapo ones. Usually you have one that goes above the top one. You'll have one at the top and one at the bottom. The bottom one will hold the two curtains, and the top one will hold the valance. And you'll have a valance, and that way when you pull these back, you can actually slide them and it won't slide the top. If you see what I mean. I think that's kind of stupid. But, you know, I spent $5 on these, and they're sheer. They're meant for a kitchen window. Which, you know, I have a junky kitchen window with... We actually have to keep our lines in. So, you know... And they specifically came with these cute little curtain things here that hold back the curtain. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I take a hammer because I'm cheap and don't I don't spend a whole lot of money on these. And apparently the people who make these don't know how to sew in a straight line. The people who make these don't know how to sew in a straight line. Look at that. So, usually, what I like to do is I usually take a piece of fabric, cut it into a big square, and sew around the edges. Or I will take a big square of fabric, or rectangle, sorry, big rectangle of fabric. I will fold it in half like this, and I will sew it along the edges if you're making your own curtain piece. And then I will just cut a hole in one side and then cut a hole in the other. And then you take a nail and you just, if you're cheap like me, I don't have a lot of money, you just stick a nail in the wall on either side of your curtain, and you just stick it over top of the nail, and it hides the nail, so you never see the nail. So it's really pretty fabric that just covers the nail, and it hangs down like this when you're not using it. And then when you are using it, it'll be all pretty, and it'll hold it back. Like this is supposed to be all pretty and hold back and everything. Like that's one of the main reasons I bought the junky curtains. Okay, I call them junky, they're really pretty, but I could have made something nicer with better material. It would have cost me more money to buy the material. So that's the reason why I'm telling you how to do this and everything. And you can do it lower depending on the size of your window. You want to like get about halfway up your window and halfway down your window, depending on the valance. If you're not using a valance, you don't have to. You want to get about halfway between your window. See about there? You want to get about halfway and then put your piece there. And then that's where you want to pull back, because then it makes it actually look decent. With this, it doesn't really, but it does once you're not using a valance. The valance kind of throws off the proportions. And if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I can comment in the comments to let you know any more information about the curtain part. I do a lot of sewing, and I know a lot about curtains and valances because my mom has taught me a lot about sewing curtains. She's made her curtains my entire life, and I have watched her make them. I have watched her wash them. I have watched her remake curtains, buy material. So I have experience the curtain making and how to put them up and how to wash them, and can you go get the curtains please, my dear? Can you go put the curtains back up, my dear? So I know a little bit about curtains and a lot about material. So if you have any questions, comment below the post and let me know any, if I say anything wrong, or if you don't like what I say, just let me know, because I would really like your input. I don't always have the energy to reach up higher. If you don't have the ability to reach up as high, a lot of people also like to put them about halfway down. They also look good halfway down. Valances have been put halfway down their window before, so that is just as good looking. So you can always look up pictures and see what it looks like. Just let me know.